Yo guys, welcome back to the video. Today I just wanted to give a like a basic brief update and just cuz I don't think I've done an update video since Christmas time, I think. So a lot has happened since then. Spyware came out. I filmed, edited, and pretty much finished The Ballad of the Red Chili. And believe it or not, I was watching Shazam not too long ago, and in the credits of Shazam, they have a animated sequence, basically, for the credit sequence, and I was like, you know what? The Ballad of the Red Chili is like a goofy movie, okay? Not like the Goofy movie, but like just dumb, retarded movie. So, what I figured, because Shazam's kind of the same way. So I was like, you know what? To fit the pacing and the tone of the film, like of Shazam, maybe I could do this animated sequence for The Ballad of the Red Chili. And so I put on my story and everything, like, yo, does anybody know any animators or anything so I can do this animated sequence for the end of my film? So I've been collaborating with this one guy called Jack, and he has been doing the sequence, and I think originally we were going to go for more like hand-drawn, but he's doing it like 3D. He showed me some clips of it. Looks good. So I'm really just waiting on that, and then after that, Ballad will get finished. Probably be released sometime in July, late July at the latest. But yeah, also, out of nowhere this year, I started a new series called Outlaws, and I mean, it's got good reception. It's not the best because there's no Rockstar editor in Red Dead Redemption 2, so it's kind of disappointing and really restricted. But yeah, I mean, I plan on making it into a trilogy. It's got good reviews, like I said. They're fun to make, even though it's a pain to edit and everything because there's no editor. But no, I mean, see where that goes. The second one, I'm not going to work on that because I have all these other films I have to finish first. Second one's already done at the time I'm recording this. I just have to edit it, and people have to record their lines and stuff. What else has happened? Oh, I started a podcast in January called the Orange Domino Podcast, and that's kicked off well, I guess you could say. A lot of people like it. A lot of people have been on it. In fact, let me think. Hound... probably like 7 or 8 people have already been on it in the first 5 episodes, so that's not too bad. I've actually have people messaging me like, yo, can I be on the podcast in the next episode? So, I think it's doing its job. And for example, Hound had a movie come out recently called Cthulhu, which was his last GTA machinima. And I've actually had friends from, like, real life, not, like, internet friends, like, people who don't exactly watch my channel, I guess you could say. Not regularly, anyway. And they're like, yo, I heard about this movie on your podcast called Cthulhu, and I watched it, and it was really good. So I'm like, if it's encouraging people to watch stuff, which is what it's designed to do, I guess, and, like, promoting other people, content creators and stuff, if it's doing its job, it's doing its job, and I think it's doing its purpose, so I'm going to continue it. Hope you guys are liking it. If you have any suggestions for the podcast, if you want to be in the podcast, let me know. Comment below. Do your thing. Okay? Have a little list here. So, once Ballad gets finished, I'm turning my attention to 0 Hour, which is the last Smoothies film, and A Very Ned Movie 3, The Invasion, which is the last Ned film. Now, both of these movies are unique in their own way, but they both share one thing in common, and that is they're both the end of an era. Because you think about it, like I just said, they're both the last films of their respective series. Now, I don't want to, like I said with The Outlaws 2, I don't want to start that because I want to take my time, edit, film, brainstorm still, just do everything I can to make sure that these two movies really hit the nail, I guess you could say. And I want them to be both masterpieces in their own way. Of course, you know, I'm low budget, amateur filmmaker, can't really make them like 2001: A Space Odyssey level of masterpiece. But, you know, I mean, just make do with what I got, try to make it the best I can, that's all I can do. Yeah, in February I released a Very Ned Movie 3 trailer, or teaser anyway. Didn't really explain much, didn't really show much, but I guess that's the beauty of it, because it's just a teaser trailer. But an official trailer will come out soon, probably sometime this summer. Like I said, I think in my last video, or the video before that, the script for Very Ned Movie 3 is 94 pages, 95 pages. This is going to be a long-ass movie, probably going to be about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Might cut it down a bit just to save time, because I did go overboard. Fun fact, I did 10 takes on me setting a backpack down on the ground. Because I'm like, ooh, I gotta get it right, I gotta get it perfect. And now that I look back at that, that's stupid. Like, you don't need to do that many times. You don't need to be a perfectionist with the little things. But I guess that's what being a perfectionist means, just, you know, overdoing it with the little things and stuff that nobody probably will even look twice at, but I don't know. But yeah, back to 0 Hour. It's going to be a big film in terms of production. The script's only like 46 pages long, so it's not the longest machinima. I really wanted it to get it to like over the 2 hour mark, but I don't think it'll get past that. So that means that Prologue will end up being the longest machinima and Smoothies film. But yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, the script for 0 Hour isn't as good as I envisioned it. Like, I envisioned this really good movie with a really good script, but when I translate it onto paper, I don't know if it's like a long-term effect of writer's block, if I just got burnt out or something, I don't know, but 0 Hour will be the last Smoothies film, but it won't be my last machinima. My last machinima will probably be this sequel, I guess you could say, to 0 Hour, which will probably come out sometime next year, maybe late this year, I don't know. I'm not worried about it right now. It's called Epilogue, which is fitting because the first film technically is Prologue, so it begins with Prologue, ends with Epilogue. I don't really want to say much about Epilogue because it kind of 0 Hour will have a post-credit scene, and that will kind of segue into Epilogue. But, you know, so I can't really say much about it. All I can say is it's set like 20, 30 years into the future, and while it is a sequel to 0 Hour, it is not a Smoothies film. So, make that of it which you will. I probably just butchered that saying, but, yeah, I'm also working with this, other content creator who actually came to me. He's like, yo, you want to collab on a, machinima? I forget a crossover, that was the word he used. Like, yo, you want to have a crossover with your characters and my characters? I was like, sure, you know. So I'm going to try to fit Epilogue into that crossover without... because it has a plot of its own, and I'm going to try to incorporate the crossover, if that makes sense. But I want it to be its own thing other than the crossover. So that brings me to my final talking point, which is... what happens after a Very Ned Movie 3? And honestly, I've been thinking about this for quite a while. Like, in real life, outside of filmmaking and everything, you know, like I work 9 to 5, 5 days a week. I'm saving up for a car, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And I want to continue filmmaking, but I feel like if I put too much effort in the filmmaking, I'll kind of fall behind as a person. And, you know, I've dedicated, like, the last 10 years of my life mainly to filmmaking. And that's been my main goal, my main focus. But I feel like maybe after Very Ned Movie 3, maybe I should take a break, a hiatus, whatever you want to call it. Not because I'm burnt out, but like I said, just to kind of work on myself. I'm busy, like, with each passing month, with each passing year, I get busier and busier. And that's why in 2018, I released, 6 films or something? I got 6 films done, and then in 2019, I only got 2 films done. So that was a dramatic shift in content being released. But yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, after Very Ned Movie 3 and 0 Hour, after these finales get out of the way, I'm going to take a break for a little bit. Doesn't mean I'm going to completely stop. I'll continue, you know. Like, I'm not quitting YouTube. I'll still probably do the podcast. I'll still do... I'll still be writing ideas down and stuff for when I return. But just to work on myself as a person, and to make sure, like, these movies don't consume me, and, you know, so I don't fall behind as an actual human being. I want to kind of push the films to the side, kind of work on myself, you know, better myself in certain areas. But that didn't answer the question, what happens after a Very Ned Movie 3? Well, after the hiatus ends, I'm going to be working on Nedverse Chapter 2. Now, as I described my first video, the Q&A video, everything takes place in this Nedverse. So, Joe, Ned, the smoothies, all that stuff takes place in the Nedverse. So, after Very Ned Movie 3 ends, it's obviously the end of an era, and that's the end of my character Ned. You know, by the time that movie comes out, I've been doing the character for 10 plus years. It's time to put an end to the character, I know. But I definitely want to continue the universe of Ned, and because, you know, there's so many established characters to begin with, and to just end it all after Very Ned Movie 3, it's kind of like a cliffhanger for some of them, and that's not fair. Plus, I still have a bunch of ideas to expand upon and to make into movies, books, graphic novels maybe, animations. If someone wants to collab, make an animation, I don't know. But yeah, anything. It could be anything. These ideas that I have for Nedverse Chapter 2 are profoundly unique. Now, Nedverse Chapter 1, which is everything that you've seen that I've, you know, everything that I've done so far, it's all sort of centered around the genre of action-adventure and comedy. And, you know, I've been doing that genre for quite a while now, and I just want to do something different. So I think with Nedverse Chapter 2, what I'm going to do is maybe do horror. I have this series, this anthology series in mind. I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to talk about it too much right now, but it's this sort of cosmic horror anthology series that I have in the works very early on. I might need After Effects to do some of it with, you know, the special effects and everything. But yeah. So actually, speaking of Nedverse Chapter 2, you might be wondering, Dom, the video quality's kind of better a little bit. Hopefully a lot, because I spent a lot of money on this. I'm recording with a new camera. It's a Sony, I forget the name. It's like AVCH, whatever. I don't know. It's really good. I haven't really done much with it because with the coronavirus and everything. And that's another thing I forgot to mention. I was going to go into the city of Philadelphia. I live like 10 minutes away from it. I was going to go into Philadelphia to film some of A Very Ned Movie 3, but with the coronavirus, everything's on lockdown. I might get to it, might not. So, in a way, the coronavirus has kind of delayed A Very Ned Movie 3's filming. Not, you know, a lot though. I've filmed all of A Very Ned Movie 3, like the bulk of it. Everything else that has to be filmed is additional photography, such as like news reporter talking, you know, smaller stuff like that. It's important though. It's not stuff like that's optional. But the Philadelphia sequence and stuff, that's optional. But I would like to go there and to you know, record basically. But yeah, anyways, as I was saying about the camera, this camera right here, can't really see it, Sony Handycam, this little bad boy, I filmed with, I filmed Very Ned Movie, Very Ned Movie 2, Joe the Movie, A Very Ned Movie 3, Parallel Ned, and all the Ned videos on the Ned channel, all my videos on my main channel, other than this one, of course, with this camera. This has produced hundreds of hours of content, and it's not broken, but it kind of is. I don't know how to describe it, but whenever I try to film with it, it's like a purple screen, and it's just glitched. I don't know how to describe it. So if I get lucky, I'll be able to film something with it, but most of the time, it's just had its run. I can't, like, I got my money's worth out of this. Good on you, Sony, for making this. And when I first got the camera, I was like 10, 11, wasn't as careful as I should be. I dropped it like 2 or 3 times in my first couple years. It's survived. It's literally it's a brick. It's endured so much. Props to Sony for making it. But yeah, with this new camera, unlike this one, this camera is 4K, and I might not be filming much 4K because the file size on 4K files is humongous. It's like 4 or 5 minutes of 4K footage is like a gigabyte, and it's not that I don't have the space, it's just uploading it and transferring it to my laptop or to my editor or whatever, editing system I should say. It would just be very time consuming, and the final product would probably be, like, let's say I were to take or film a 2-hour movie, it'd probably be like 2 terabytes. It's just, I don't know. But once this coronavirus stuff passes and everything goes back to normal, hopefully sooner rather than later. I will take this camera out, do a camera test with it. This is sort of like an unofficial first camera testing for it, but yeah, I mean, I hope it looks good. I can adjust the zoom through the lens without having to, you know, whoosh. What? Okay, so anyway, that's it for today. Nedverse Chapter 2 probably be coming out sometime next year, maybe the year after. Like I said, I did want to take a break, but for now, 2020, I'll continue things as usual. But yeah, as time goes on and it gets closer to, am I zooming in or out? Ah, there we go. I'll continue to talk about it. But for the meantime, Ballad comes out soon, within the next 2 months. 0 Hour will probably come out in the autumn. Will, who played Vivian, as you guys know, he left the Smoothies due to creative differences back in March of last year. He just messaged me tonight saying he wants to come back. So, who knows, maybe Vivian will make a small return in 0 Hour, you know. But yeah, I mean, as time goes on, I'll keep you guys updated. I'll make another video like this soon. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. New podcast coming out with Joshua Films in town. Yeah, follow me on Instagram at Orange Domino Studios. Follow me on Snapchat at The Orange Domino. Subscribe, like, comment, subscribe. Hit the little bell notification thing. And, oh yeah, and that's another thing. One more thing. A couple, like 2 or 3 years ago, I made this channel called The Squad. Now, I've talked about The Squad, you know, made a podcast about them, so you should already know what they are. So, The Squad channel was basically a place where we could post our, like, funny gaming moments, or if we had memes or something, like meme in video format, post them there. The channel's been up since like 2017, 2018, but just like in the past month or so, I was like, you know what? I post a lot of content on this channel, and I put a lot of effort and put a lot of time into it, but it's only restricted to our group of friends. Maybe I should expand it. So the Squad channel has kind of become a sister channel to Orange Domino Studios. It's not really a gaming channel. It's just kind of like stuff where we put bloopers, funny moments, memes, crap like that. So I did a Kecker Cringe video with Hound, Josh, and me. We did a not a film review, but we did a watch party kind of thing for one of Josh's old films. Really funny. Go check it out. Yeah. So I think that's it. Hit subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll be back soon. We ordered pizza tonight, so it's gonna come in a few minutes. I gotta go. Peace out. Much love. Wash your hands. And don't be a bitch to minimum wage workers during this pandemic. It's extremely annoying. And yeah, release the Snyder Cut. It actually was announced the other day. Still wearing the shirt. I'm hyped for it. I really am. But I'm not gonna start talking about that because I'm gonna be talking for about another 20 minutes. Peace out. Watch the Snyder Cut when it comes out. I'll see you in the next video.